Alright, so this guy right here, Ernie Irvan. If you notice, he's got an eye patch. If you see him anytime after 1994, you see his eyes kind of low. Let me explain that. Alright, so viewer discretion is advised. It's one of the craziest stories you'll probably hear. 1994, during practice, Ernie Irvan going around Michigan Speedway, running about 170 miles an hour. Right front tire blows. He hits the wall, hard, like this hard. So the doctors get to the car. He's bleeding out of his nose, his mouth. It's looking bad. Okay. The doctors realize that he's actually drowning on his own blood. Like there's so much blood going down his throat to his lungs, he's drowning on it. So they have to give him a tracheotomy, which is, where they cut the throat to where he can breathe. Problem is, the med kit that they have doesn't have a blade, so the doctor uses the first thing that he can find. A pocket knife. So they cut this man with a pocket knife. He starts breathing again. So then they land the chopper on the track. Now, if you know anything about this, this is crazy. Like, you would usually take him to the medical center, and then the chopper would pick him up from the medical center, but they said it was too bad. They needed to get him there now. They needed to get him to the hospital as soon as possible. When they get to the hospital, they realize he has a basal skull fracture. Okay? This is the same injury that took Dale Earnhardt from us and plenty of others. You have a 10% chance to live just from that. This is not including his chest injuries and everything else that he has. Just the basal skull fracture, he has a 10% chance to live. And just to add to it, if you know anything about NASCAR, and you see a tarp over a car like that, it's never a good sign. Like, they're expecting somebody to not be alive. So they take him to Ann Arbor Hospital, and I guess because this man is just a certified badass, he survives. He actually wakes up in the hospital hearing that the 28 car, the car he was in, was on track at the time, and he was confused as to why the car was on the track, not realizing completely cognitively that it's because he's in the hospital and he almost died. So not only does Ernie survive, but he rehabs enough to get back in the car about a year later at North Wilkesboro and finishes 6th. And even more crazy, this picture that you see at the beginning is from 1997 at Michigan, and that's him taking the checkered flag because he won at Michigan. And sadly, this doesn't end in the feel-good way you wish it would. 5 years to the day of the original crash, he crashes again, and this one was it for him. He retired. This was the career ender right here. But it does still end in a feel-good way because he did it for his kids, and as you can see, his son Jared got him back into racing. So it might not be his career, but at least he can live through him. So, Ernie, you're a badass.